just like that, they buy it. They eat it up. You pander to them, you thank them. I mean, really, people, I thought you were a little bit smarter than that. I mean, it's just so easy to say the name of the city. You cheer.
Hey, Stephanie,
you cheer. I mean, just come on.
Welcome to the A Show.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show, the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin, here with Meelz, and of course, as always, we bring you all of this great content every single week on the A Show RC channel, so make sure you subscribe to us to get this show, shows like the Will Report, as well as Spot Callers, and a new show that we have just debuted this week called the Rewriters Room, with the homie Armand and his crew, rewriting some of the most legendary moments in WWE history. This week, it's Brock Lesnar. Meelz, have you got a chance to listen to it yet?
Of course. I mean, yes, like multiple times. I don't know if you know this, but yeah, I helped with the coordination of that show going on. But I want to just say, congratulations to Armand. You know what's so interesting about this? And you know what? Maybe I was going to wait till... Of course, we have to introduce our guest coming up. You know what's so interesting about this? So Armand's first appearance on the show is because he won the Royal Rumble pool in January. And then 7 months later, boom, did such a great job, wanted to contribute to the network anyway, had an idea for a show. Now he's featured on the network in full with his own show, The Rewriters Room. Shout out to Channing. Shout out to CC. Shout out to everybody on that show. It's a great concept. It's a lot of a fan concept. So I'm very interested. I love pretty much everything that I've heard on the first episode and can't wait to hear everything that they got moving forward. I've heard some plans of what they got planned, and I'm just gonna say you're gonna want to tune in and subscribe because it's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. And of course, I mean, we were remiss to forget our guest here. Who's coming to get you, Meelz?
Brooklyn things. It's
usually, usually the cops come in like the hour mark of our show. Now I'm starting to get worried.
A little bit. Well, daylight savings, something. I don't know. Whatever we say.
But as Meelz mentioned, Armand was the first winner of the Royal Rumble pool back in January. And damn near 9 months later, we have the second winner of the Royal Rumble pool here today. Of course, we're talking about the man behind the Black Variant plan himself, Mr. X, the exalted, the exiled, the everything, the 18th account is on the show today.
I'm everything but legal at this point, honestly. It's a pleasure to be on the show today. I'm currently watching Jimmy Butler play TJ Warren in the full Lashley, so everything's good in the world right now. Shout out Mark, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Mark. Well, listen. Speaking of shout out to Mark, he's one of the crowd people on that thing. So if you see him in the background, just know that Mark is actually at the game.
Oh man, we gotta get some gifts on that. We gotta get some memes on that. We need new stickers for the RNC channel.
But it seems like whenever Mark goes to the game, they get completely walloped. So he needs to stop going to the games, whether virtually or in person. Mark needs to stop going to Heat games altogether.
You're trying to say Mark is bad luck?
Absolutely, he's bad luck. He's absolute bad luck. But also, of course, Mark, he hosts RSPN on the Elite Media channel. Make sure you subscribe to that as well for RSPN and the Play for Keeps podcast. So they're doing a lot of work over there. But we're doing a lot of work here on the A Show this week. We have 2 shows to predict this week. We have NXT Takeover 30 and, of course, WWE Summerslam. But before we get into that, let's get into the news for the week. Not a lot of stuff going on. In fact, we're going to kind of weave the news into our predictions this week, if that's cool with you guys.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, there's so much. I don't want to say little things because some things are huge. Some things are huge. I think probably the biggest news that maybe we have to start with on this thing is probably the most Vince McMahon thing ever, and that's the Thunderdome.
Fire. It was announced early this week that WWE would be moving SummerSlam to the Amway Center in Orlando. It had been rumored for a while that this was going to be the location. Last week, we started seeing the production trucks pop up, and we were saying, okay, this might be happening. But we got the full plan this week from the WWE. They're going to be taking residency in the Amway Center for the foreseeable future, holding Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views in the building, which will now be rechristened into the WWE Thunderdome, and these are going to be live shows, everyone. So we're going right back to live shows. We're going back to some sense of normalcy in the past 4 or 5 months that we have not had. X? What did you think when you heard about this?
First thing I heard about it was, remember that report that came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago when they said they wanted to do the draft, but they were waiting for a big show to do it?
Yeah,
I think the draft is imminent. And we're going to talk about that later with the NXT predictions. I think some people might be losing this week because they're coming back to Raw.
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely makes sense. What about you, Meelz?
I'm sorry. I was distracted by something, and I'll let you know what I was distracted by immediately after this thing. But I love it. I mean, quite honestly, it's the atmosphere. It's creating this new thing. It's the entire Thunderdome concept. I mean, the name itself seems big, and they've managed to coin it. And it was actually even featured on my local news channel, that WWE Thunderdome Friday live, everything. That it's kind of the closest thing I think right now we'll get to normalcy, other than Roman Reigns currently not being in the ring.
Yeah, for sure. And again, Kevin Dunn, who is like very much like the Phantom of the Opera in a lot of ways behind WWE production, revealed that the setting which is going to be unveiled on Friday. So of course we know SmackDown is going to start the whole weekend off. It's going to be like, again, we're getting a view into how these big 4 weekends will work this week as well. And it's going to have pyrotechnics, drone cameras, and video boards. So we're going to see the return of the SmackDown and Raw sets. Thank God. I think that, right before everything happened, I was really a big fan of the SmackDown set. I really like the Raw set. I love the half pipe. I'm glad to see that returning. I mean, the concept, of course, is that, we're going to go back to normalcy. We're going to get all of the regular, the regular fixins, all of the regular sets. I'm so glad about that. But I think more than anything is that the shows are going to be live again.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this, honestly. This is like, we keep talking about this, but WWE is really the only one who can pull this off.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think, I mean, we're bearing the lead here. They're also going to have a virtual fan experience as well, where you can sign up at WWEThunderdome.com so you can register for a virtual seat on the show. And this is going to be beginning next Monday on Raw. So should we try and sign up for this?
You guys do it, and I'll see how it goes, and then you let me know how it goes.
Oh, God.
Come on, man.
Come on, Meelz. Get on camera, bro.
Have you sat? All right, first of all, you don't even sit for the entire 2 hours of SmackDown.
Oh, but actually, I don't know if it's going to work for me because
you're on the West Coast.
Yeah, that's going to be weird.
I mean, to be fair, Raw is like mostly good, so like we don't have to worry about SmackDown. So,
oh my God,
Raw, I'm a floater. Raw, I'm there, and I'm not, and then I'm back again. Like I might open anime to watch during Raw. I'm a floater, so I don't know.
Don't admit this on the show. Don't admit this on this show. Come on, man. What kind of? You don't even watch the product. Anyway, that is the Thunderdome. But one show go ahead. Can I interest you in the news that actually distracted me and threw me off? It's going to be very short news. What is the news?
What is it?
So there has been reports via Instagram that Lars Sullivan may be training for a return.
All right. Listen, we deal enough with Karrion Kross, so we really need Lars Sullivan back.
It threw me off, but Lars Sullivan, as you know, has been missing. I think he was supposed to debut. Well, no, that was last year where he was supposed to debut at the Royal Rumble and then got like social anxiety and kind of couldn't do it.
AKA Big E came down with the tape gloves.
No, I think what's it called? Economic anxiety? Is that what we call it nowadays?
Yeah.
Oh my god! But I mean, he was on TV. I think the last time we kind of saw him was he was like defeating like Lucha House Party or something at some point, and then he just kind of disappeared off TV.
And Kalisto busted him on TV.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't want this to become a point right now because I'm sure we can talk about it right when Lars Sullivan returns, but might see a Lars Sullivan return in the future.
It's going to be a very different locker room than the one that he left. It's just a different world in general. So right. I'm interested in seeing. I mean, Jackson Riker and his crew have not been on TV for months, so I don't know where he's gonna sit. I mean, again, like, we'll talk about this later when we talk about certain people on NXT. But it's like, I bet he's glad that there's no crowd because no chance will have him feeling woozy, for sure, for damn sure. But speaking of the Thunderdome, there's gonna be another show that happens this weekend that's going to take place there, and that is NXT Takeover 30. The return to arenas for NXT in some capacity here, but we're going to get to our predictions for that. And it's a show that it's been built for the past couple of weeks on. I mean, a big match, two big matches between Keith Lee and Karrion Kross, as well as Adam Cole and Pat McAfee. But we're going to get down to the matches that we pretty much know about. This was originally supposed to be TakeOver Boston. So this was originally supposed to be taking place over SummerSlam weekend in Boston. Of course, that has changed. But let's get into the show here. First match, Bronson Reed versus Damian Priest versus Cameron Grimes versus Johnny Gargano or Rich Holland versus Finn Balor or Velveteen Dream. Ladder match for the vacant NXT North American Championship. There's a lot of loosey-goosey stuff here because we have to kind of decide and predict here who is going to make those last two slots. Is it going to be Johnny Gargano, Rich Holland, Finn Balor, or Velveteen Dream?
Oof. If I were them...
Go ahead.
Well, if I were them, I would probably put Gargano and Balor in it. Because I feel like as good as these up-and-coming guys are, the match needs a little bit of a star power, as like a little bit of a dash of something on it, just to spice it up a little bit. And not that, these guys have held, I don't know if Finn Balor has, but he hasn't held the North American Championship as of yet. But, just a little spice, just something, a couple of veterans who kind of know their way around. So that's what I think. What do you guys think?
You might hate this, but I think they will keep Gargano in it. But I think they're going to go all in with Velveteen here. He just turned heel last week on his return. I think the long run is going to be the Finn Balor Velveteen thing. The only thing that's keeping me away from that is that Balor doesn't lose that often.
He doesn't lose unless chicanery is afoot. Let's be real clear about that.
He's hashtag protected. Yes.
And it's weird because Balor is like, ever since the Walter program got lost, he's been really lost on the brand. I think they had a clear direction for him. I mean, even before COVID happened, he was showing up on NXT UK. He was terrorizing Imperium, and now he's just kind of lost and shows up whenever he wants to. I think to give him some direction, they might do the Velveteen program and have the Demon come back maybe at the October takeover, maybe.
That could be interesting.
That's not a bad idea.
However, I mean, looking at the match here, looking at the people that have been most pushed, looking at everyone here, like Bronson Reed's been pushed really well for the past couple weeks. He just defeated Damian Priest, who's they've been putting a lot behind in the past year. Cameron Grimes has been being pushed very heavily on these shows. He won a triple threat between Kushida and Dream last week. And I mean, it's between these three. And I think the person who would benefit from it the most would be Cameron Grimes, so he could go into a feud with Bronson Reed.
Ooh. The thing about it's interesting. I personally, all right, if I had to pick, I would probably say Damian Priest. And I'll say Damian Priest just because I feel like the lineage of the NXT North American Championship, it's always been given to the guys who've who have, I'm not saying Cameron Grimes hasn't worked hard, but someone where you've seen like clear progress in where they started and kind of where they're at now. And I think even with the Damian Priest thing, him turning face, him, kind of elevating himself. He had the match with Finn Balor a month ago or so, really shocked everybody. I think they're going to go in that direction with Damian Priest. I mean, to me, it's a good one, but if it's definitely got to be one of those three. I mean, yeah, for sure.
What about you, X?
Oh man, I don't want to see Cameron Grimes with a title. All right, man.
What's wrong with Cameron Grimes, baby?
He's fine in the ring, man, but like I don't want to hear him talk, man. He sounds like he's gonna say the N-word at any second, so I'm all done with that. Damian, I would not mind Damian Priest getting the title, but unless there's some chicanery within, I got him beating Velveteen, and I got him winning the title on Saturday.
Ooh,
so
bold prediction.
So it's safe to go with Finn. I mean, the safest bet you can go with on NXT is Finn. He wins all the time. He's undefeated at takeovers, or not undefeated, but he's won like 11 times in a row or something like that at takeovers. So
he ain't lost since he lost to Joe.
Yeah. So there you have it. But we have talked about Velveteen Dream, but not really the reaction to his return. Triple H went on an interview. He had a conference call this week and said that they couldn't find anything about the Velveteen Dream allegations, which has caused, of course, an uproar. Did not go over very well. And I'd say, like, from what I've seen, it's pretty much 50-50 split. I think 50% of people are like, okay, they're glad that they said something. They're glad that someone at least took accountability. And they're also glad that this is, they just got put in the open. They said they didn't find anything and let it go. The other 50 are saying it's a lie. There's all types of theories about this Velveteen Dream situation right now. Where do you all stand on this?
Oof.
I feel like the nature of the allegation is particularly damning. Like that's a stain you can never get off, no matter how good your evidence is.
Yeah. It's sort of like the Enzo thing, because the Enzo thing, it came out that he was innocent, but it still stained him. And because of who Enzo is as a person and his reaction to it, it actually made him look worse than if it didn't actually happen.
But with the Enzo thing, he got off because there was a lack of evidence. Not necessarily because he didn't do it, because they couldn't prove he could do it. He didn't, With the Dream thing, so many people came out with it. It was yo, if he doesn't get caught this time, what the fuck's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? So I can see how, and there's been, reported issues with Dream backstage before, so I can see how this just exacerbates everything. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, if they didn't find anything, you don't really have a reason to hold them off TV. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And tinfoil hat or not, what do you I don't really know if there is such a huge conspiracy to hold somebody down and lie about something like this. I would like to know, of course, everyone would like to know what the process was for them to figure this out. I know that a bunch of companies do have relationships with Instagram and Twitter to find out the validity behind these things. But, WWE isn't exactly, they don't have to tell us anything about it. And I think that's the most frustrating part.
Yeah, I think, it's particularly interesting. Well, actually, in terms of not having to say anything about it, I think they do. They don't necessarily have to. Don't get me wrong. It's free will. They can do anything. They run their own business. But I do think a business that actually does target children in some sort of aspect, these are, and then even for personally Velveteen Dream himself, kind of imagine what he's going through right now. And all the hate and all the things he says he's denied it. He's done all these other things, but it's like you said, like X said, it's a stain that kind of stays there.
Yeah.
So if I were Velveteen Dream, personally, I did it as well. I would love there be a double source that the company went and searched for it as well. I allowed them to. It's kind of fine, blah, blah, blah. And they said that it was inconclusive. They've really found nothing. It was doctored or whatever the hell it was. I'm personally fine with that. Whether people believe it or not, that's kind of on them. But at this point, it's falling in it is what it is category.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
it definitely is.
There's not much you can do. Yeah, there's not much that we can kind of do all after the fact. They've done, if WWE, and they have accountability over it, which is what I like more so, because now they're out openly on record saying that we found nothing, as opposed to leaving it up in the air.
Yeah. So if it does come down, they better have something to save their asses with, and that's really how I feel right now. Like if it is a cover up and they are lying, they better have a hell of a defense if something else comes out.
Yeah, that's what I'm exactly 100%.
And Dream, you better fucking thank your lucky stars, brother.
This he better put his working boots on, man. He better, because he's under the microscope right now. I mean, I looked at the Instagram post immediately after he was posted, and I would say probably like 40% of the people are like Velveteen Dream or something along those lines. So yeah, he's got to put on his working boots. He's got to kind of, I don't even know if that will dispel it, at least in 2020. I mean, it's weird.
It's wrestling. If he puts on a 5-star match, they're going to forget about this shit.
Listen, I'll tell you, the only thing that doesn't really help him right now with that Antonio Brown ass goatee he got on, cut that shit off. Cut that shit off.
Yeah, 100%.
And Velveteen's smart. He knows exactly what he's doing with that goatee. And I thought about the same thing, X, when I saw it. I was like, is he trying to like mirror himself as him? Because he's not a dumb guy. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. But enough about him. Fuck it. We also have Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's Championship. Of course, this match has been being built for the past month and a half between Tegan Nox, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, all of that going on. But yeah, I mean, there's not much you can say here. I think this is the most safe pick I think we could all have on this show, right?
I feel like it's more so on an account of like, okay, now it's your turn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been here long enough, you haven't got a title shot. She's probably in there complaining like, yo, all of them get title shots in. And I don't get no title shot. But she's probably complaining with all of that. And you know what? I don't even want to say that because it could be damning. I don't want to actually say she's complaining. It's a joke. But... she was complaining on air. So you are right. She was complaining on yeah. But I do think it's more so a fact like, okay, let's see what Dakota Kai can do. She's been here for a number of years working her ass off. This is her first true opportunity on the takeover stage to have that takeover match and do all these things that we know that she can do. I'm personally not a fan of Dakota's heel persona. I'm still not a fan. So I personally think Io Shirai will beat her ass. So, but that's just my opinion. What do you guys think?
This is fuck. This is gonna hurt. But I think Dakota Kai is gonna win. Only because I think Raquel Gonzalez is gonna come back, cause some chicanery, and cost Io the belt. And I think Io might be getting drafted soon.
So this is one of your predictions.
Yeah, I think Io is getting drafted to SmackDown because Lord knows they need something else. Like, let's be honest here. And if Sasha is supposed to be winning the shit or whatever on SmackDown, obviously we need new people to spice that shit up. So
what about Carmella? What about Carmella, bro?
Who?
Why you do that? Carmella ain't bother nobody.
I don't know if Io would go this early. I always figure Mania next year, but she has been on the brand for 2 years. This technically, if things would have shaken up, here's the thing. I don't know if she would have gotten the title if we still had crowds and there was no COVID, right? Like, I don't know if that would have been a shoo-in for me with her. Like,
well, maybe if she didn't get injured during that time that she got injured, because I feel like her getting injured as she was on momentum to kind of be a main contender for the belt at that time. And I'm talking about the late December, early January type of field. Because I felt like they were going in the Bianca versus Shayna versus Io type of thing, or Bianca, Rhea, Io, or something along those lines. I felt like they were going in that direction. And then they chose, when she got injured, okay, she's cooled off a little bit. Let's heat her back up. Let's put her on the top of the brand type of thing. Especially with Rhea doing her main roster thing, which now, I mean, make it make sense. And then all the call up of Bianca and a lot of different things. I think she's going to, I would say she's staying for a bit, unless Asuka needs help, which is what I figured they would slot her in. Not that I'm like saying, oh, Asians team up, but knowing WWE,
they worked together before.
Yeah, I think WWE would slot her in that fact, especially there's a pay-per-view coming up and they seem to love Asuka versus Bayley and Sasha matches. So.
I mean, they're the hottest women on the brand. We're going to get to that in a second. I think Io Shirai is going to win here. If she was to get called up, which I do think she is, I would do it after whatever, October, November. Like the October takeover that's taking over, that's making up for the takeover that we missed this summer is really throwing me off right now. So I don't know if we're going to get War Games. So I would imagine November. But Io's going to – it's like her, second defense, third defense? I think she'll definitely take this one. Next up, we have Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. Right now, it's a regular-ass match. I really hope they change that. I hope they make it no DQ because I don't want to see – like, you already know there's going to be a bunch of BS and overbooking here. I also think that is a reason why that there's no tag team titles being defended on the show because I do think Imperium's going to have they're going to have a say or a position in this match as well as the only real feud that the Undisputed Era has right now. But this match is happening. This has been going on for almost 2 months now. With Adam Cole, of course, the drama on the radio show, and then the kick her around the world that apparently destroyed and ended NXT a couple of weeks ago. But this is going to happen. And I'm honestly kind of scared about how they're going to book this.
NXT hasn't done this type of match before. Not to say that they can't, but it's typically not in their realm to decide, let's bring in someone from outside of the wrestling world to face someone within the wrestling world, because this is a very wrestling strong, very wrestling heavy, very wrestling oriented show. They make their takeovers are typically known for okay, we're stealing the show here. Yeah. So for them to have an attraction type of match is very, very different from the normal things. And I think it could be received badly if it does happen badly. With that said, I think a stipulation, it would have to be Pat McAfee would need some goons in the truck. And if they don't establish these goons by tonight or, whenever this NXT airs, then then it would be weird to kind of have a stipulation where Undisputed Era could just literally show up and just stomp the hell out of him, which I would love personally.
I thought it was going to be a street fight.
It should be. There's no other stipulation matches on the card. So, I mean, other than the ladder match, there's no other single stipulation on the card. It would fit. It would make sense. Just leave the ladders alone and they could still do the street fight. Mm-hmm. Just put tables and chairs out. I don't know what to expect here. I know damn well, Adam Cole better win. That's the only thing that better happen here is Adam Cole winning, and he better do it in dominant fashion after all the chicanery. What does that mean?
Because these type of matches could really go any type of way. You know what I'm saying? Adam Cole could win.
We watched the Johnny Laurinaitis, bro. All right, man. Anything's possible.
Here's not even so much that, but you have someone else win, then it's a headline, you know what I'm saying? Then it's former NFL, et cetera, defeats thing. Then you have all the headlines and the thing on the next day. You get more people attracted to NXT. Hopefully more people watch NXT. I'm thinking that's what they want out of this. So
I don't think you give Cole that many back-to-back L's like that. Just lost the title.
They just have to figure it in a way where it can lead to something else. So you kind of just get rid of. I don't want Pat McAfee to win. I want whatever happened to Tommaso Ciampa. Remember Tommaso Ciampa, Finn Balor, and Johnny Gargano? And then Finn turns on Johnny, and then they stomp the hell out of Ciampa. I want that. I need that energy. Injected. It's so legendary. Injected in my veins. I want that for Pat McAfee. I'm not sure if we'll get it because WWE likes to throw us off in these type of things. So I'm going to actually abstain from calling this match because I don't even want the possibility of.
I gotta see it.
Yeah,
I gotta see it.
I gotta see it. I gotta
see it. Main event, I guess. There's no fifth match on this, which is odd to me. I think they will probably add a fifth match last minute. If there was to be one, I think we spoke about this off mic. It would have to be Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Santos Escobar. I think they put a lot into Escobar for him to not be on a takeover, and this has been the only other long-term feud that's been going for a lot longer than the other one. So I mean, get him on there. I mean, Escobar's on 2 shows a week. I mean, just put him on the takeover card, let him open the show, and then keep it moving. But the main event here is for sure Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. On NXT last week, we saw Keith Lee get a fireball to the face, a Hadouken to the face, and it gave the match a lot more heat. I got to say, like I've been into the build for this.
Did you mean that pun? Come on, man.
What? What? What did I say? What did I say?
Please.
Come on.
What did I say? I really don't. Did I say heat?
Yes.
Oh no, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean for it to be a pun. They put a lot more stank on the feud.
Oh please! All right, now get out.
By doing, I have to say I've been digging the actual build up. I know we're all a bit apprehensive about how the match will go, but they have made it feel like a big time thing in a way that they haven't in any NXT title match this year. Really, I mean, you got to think we were just having Adam Cole versus Velveteen a couple months ago, and now we have these two big kind of like unstoppable forces meeting for the first time in the ring, and there's definitely like an element of like, yo, these two want to hurt each other, and that's what I dig about it.
Everything that happened last Wednesday, I'm in approval of, because I do think, pun intended, it definitely added a little bit more heat to the actual match itself. But we've had this discussion. I'm not sure where they go. I don't think it's personally Karrion Kross is ready to hold the NXT Championship as of yet. This is me.
Me either.
This is me looking at him from just really kind of looking at the last show and just kind of seeing like he's not even like I don't think the character is even fully formed as of yet. I don't even think he's fully there with the character as of yet. I think he's still playing the role, but he hasn't fully enveloped the character. Now, could this match go away in establishing more of the character and who Karrion Kross is? Yes. You don't have to have it by him winning, though. I have got Keith Lee winning this. I don't think it's time to take it off Keith Lee as of yet.
I too am predicting Keith Lee wins it. I think it's going to be a crazy like match. I think it's going to be like, I think it's not going to be the last match. I do think we're going to see them fighting again, at least for the October takeover. But I see this being like a really heavy hitting match, and I think that Karrion's probably he's going to shock us. And I think that, Keith has just been such a magnificent character, not only just champion, just a great character on the show. You want to keep him on top, and you want to keep him as a strong, dominant champion. So that's where I go to. What about you, X?
I think Keith Lee is winning, but this is about to get real negative. It's about to get real violent in this one. As violent as you can get in a singles match with no DQ, with no DQ, it's going to get negative.
Right.
They're going to get real stiff, if you feel me. No homo, you feel me? But
wow.
Remember when Braun stiffed Brock in the middle of that Royal Rumble match? It's going to be like that. I want it to be like that.
I don't know. I don't feel that from this match. I do agree it'll be violent, but I also think that it'll look like one of the Dijak Keith Lee PWG matches. Yeah.
I think it'll feel like that. It'll be a lot of spectacle, but it won't have much to do with like chairs and tables and shit like that. It'll be spectacle in terms of like, I do love with what they've done with Keith, where they have kind of diminished the super acrobatic stuff that he does, and they've left it for big time, like big matches. And I think if when you bring it back for matches like this, and it shows he had to pull all of this stuff out to beat this guy, I think that means a lot more. So I definitely want to see that, and I think that that's the type of glamour that we want to see from this match. But I still got Keith Lee winning it. October might be a different story, but I still see him having that title going into the fall.
Quick question. Do you guys see Scarlett getting involved?
Yes, but I see Mia Yim being the equalizer to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, I think personally it's a disservice to have someone ringside and not get involved in the match. Like, to have them out there and for them not to be a factor in some sort of way, I think it's a disservice just in a wrestling type of thing. But I think this is going to be a real shot for Karrion Kross to kind of prove, is he NXT, like the full stamp of approval, stamp brand approve of NXT. Like, and it's weird that it's taken them here, because normally, they had the Tommaso Ciampa match, but normally it's another type of match. Normally there's another measuring stick.
It used to be Ono, or it used to be
right.
somebody else on the card like that, or like with the type of trial by fire that Riddle had in his first year.
Right.
They usually have that.
Yeah, and he just doesn't this time. And maybe this is that, but I think everyone's going to be kind of watching closely to see where things go from here.
Absolutely. Let's tap into WWE SummerSlam from the MF Thunderdome on Sunday.
Let me handle this one. So.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
SummerSlam is here. It is coming once again, like you said, from the Thunderdome on Sunday. The tagline, "You'll never see it coming." Does that throw anyone in any part of direction for anything on this show?
Yeah.
A couple RKOs.
Yeah. I think I like I said last week. I don't think that the "You'll never see it coming" is for Orton. I think it's definitely for Retribution, who grew in size over a week.
I mean, legitimately in size, like they are
literally. Yes, they are taller people. They are literally taller people this week, and I think it's hilarious. Yes,
it is interesting. Just kind of everything that they've been building towards the show. We've talked about it over the last couple of weeks that the show has just been, it just has the fire beneath it that I think you want worthy of a SummerSlam, of a big 4-match pay-per-view. I mean, we've had all these matches. A lot of these are carrying over from the Extreme Rules, or probably could have happened on Extreme Rules or something along those lines. But they're carrying over to this pay-per-view, and it kind of SummerSlam finally feels like the big ultimate. Here we go. This is the summer. This is how we end in things here. But let's go through the matches themselves. Obviously, we got to start off. I mean, this match, to me, it has kind of, it's continuing from the WrestleMania program, but also has been a very exciting kind of back and forth. Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza. Raw Tag Team Championships on the line. How have you guys felt about this feud thus far, especially with Montez Ford now returning after being poisoned?
By Zelina.
By Zelina, as we found out, which I love the reveal. I love the reveal. I love the reveal of these type of things. I love Samoa Joe kind of like, yeah, I sent him a video. The video's been going all around. I was like, damn, what's going on? And then you put it together. Oh, I don't know if I like that when it was revealed he returned on the show at the same kind of week, but it is what it is.
I mean, he pulled up with hands, so I can't even be mad at it.
Not only did he pull up with hands, had a whole match scheduled and everything like that. That's why I'm like, maybe we shouldn't have done this the same week. But here we are. Street Profits or Andrade and Angel Garza. Who you guys got?
This storyline has gone on for a really, really long time. It's actually like crossed through a different storyline and got right back to Andrade and Angel. I'm so tired of this stable. I think that they look like complete goofs and have looked like complete goofs since after Mania when Andrade or when Drew beat the whole squad in one night. I think there's so much more for Andrade. I think he's done the stable thing. I think he's done a great job with it. I think it's time for him to move on. But at the same time, I think the Profits, they need a tag team to go against. The Raw tag team, division is very shaky, and tag teams in general in WWE are very shaky. Like SmackDown to me had a stronger division, and now it's completely like cut at the legs now. But I mean, Street Profits need someone to go against, and I think that these are the best guys to do it. They've been facing each other for a really long time now, and I really think it would be a disservice to make them drop the titles to these guys. So I'll have the Street Profits winning this.
X, what you got?
I'm stuck between like wanting the Profits to win and sick of seeing Andrade lose all the time. I think, break out Andrade and Angel, bro. I'm sick of this. They don't do nothing but lose. They don't do nothing but get their heads kicked off. Split Andrade. I don't know if make him go back to U.S. title since the Hurt Business and Apollo's a thing still. Build Andrade back up, man, because like he's really at the pits right now.
All right. So I have a hot take in this match. This feud is not over, and Andrade and Angel Garza will, in fact, win the tag team championships here. I think it's been going on for quite some time. They won at WrestleMania in a kind of like, I guess, an iteration of this match when you have, old suspended boy in this match instead of Andrade.
He who shall not be named.
Yeah, he who shall not be named. But I do think Andrade and Angel Garza have the potential, if they do win this match, that you extend this feud and you can kind of hide the deficiencies within the Raw Tag Team division by kind of continuing this, especially considering, all of this now plays in the fact that there's a whole pay-per-view the following week with one show to actually hype up this pay-per-view, which is insane. But here we are.
There has to be like 4 matches on Payback. It's gonna end at like 9 o'clock. Like, there's no way Payback is a full-length pay-per-view. Like, we have to do predictions next week for Payback.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, 100%. But with that, and we still won't know the matches because Friday Night SmackDown will not air it until then.
We could guess like a couple of them, right? It'd have to be an AJ match. Matt Riddle, Baron Corbin will probably happen at Payback.
Well, here's the thing. Why are they, and not the thing with this whole program, but what do they have against AJ on pay-per-views?
I don't think he want to work.
I don't think he want to do it. I don't think he wants to.
I think he got the title like that last time, that year-long reign. He don't want to do that no more. I think they burned him out, honestly.
I think he's really underachieving with these SmackDown shows, in my opinion. Like, and
no,
not
he's
that
having great matches.
Yeah, he's having these great matches, but it's like, do it on a pay-per-view. Be the guy in the middle of the card who brings the card up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Meelz, are you trying to see Grand Metalik on a pay-per-view, bro? Is that what you're trying to see?
No, yes, I'm trying to see AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy. AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy on SummerSlam. I think it's a SummerSlam worthy match.
I don't want Jeff Hardy anywhere near.
You don't want anyone who's wrestled on SummerSlam 2000 to be on this pay-per-view as well?
Absolutely not. I don't want him anywhere near a pay-per-view right now.
Oh my God. Well, let's get into the next match, because here's the next match that I actually do think has benefited from this whole COVID situation, because I strongly believe that this match was going to happen on Extreme Rules, and it got pretty much thrown off the card. We have Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville in a hair versus hair match, a very rare women's hair versus hair match in the WWE. Mm-hmm. Last time we pretty much seen it, I think it was WrestleMania 20. Yeah, there we go. Molly Holly versus Victoria. I think that was the last hair versus hair match.
Oh, throwback.
Yeah, this feud, they doing the damn thing. We've got some side news to talk about, because Sonya Deville, the week that she's had is just insane.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't even imagine like being focused and being able to go out there on Sunday like that. Just with what happened.
If no one is hip to the news as of yet, Sonya Deville, actually, they arrested someone. I don't know if it's a stalker, a super fan. I don't know what you'd actually qualify them, who actually broke in the house with the intention to harm Sonya Deville. Luckily, she managed to get out the house and call the cops. It is a scary situation. It is a dangerous situation. We wish the best for Sonya Deville, and we're glad that everyone is kind of healthy and not unharmed and everything like that. But having to run back to this match as well, which is such high intensity match. Like,
they were both in the house. I don't know if you read that.
I was about to say that. Mandy was in the house when it happened.
Oh, Mandy was there too?
Yeah, she was the friend.
Oh, wow. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Damn.
They just updated that like yesterday or like maybe later or earlier today. So yeah, it was definitely like, because the way they wrote the article was weird, because they didn't want to reveal who it was, and the article also made it seem like it was for the friend, like the person was coming for the friend. Then turns out they were coming for Sonya, and now it comes out that they were both in the house, because I think they still live together, or they're still staying with each other. But yeah, really scary stuff between these two.
Jesus. So we've had this match. I think these two, granted the 4 weeks off that they had in between this, have done a great job building to this match. Worthy of being on SummerSlam. Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. Who you guys got?
I think Sonya been beating her ass way too much in order to win.
It's a hair versus hair. It's a hair versus hair match. So it's like take that into account with the old predictions for this match.
So I think Mandy got to win by proxy, but like I'm not really particularly excited to see this one, honestly.
Interesting. Okay.
It's been a while since we saw them in ring. I could understand that.
Yeah.
I love this feud. I think Sonya stepped it up a notch. I think Mandy stepped it up a notch on the mic. The only thing that I'm worried about is the fact that before we got this feud, these two were kind of regressing in the ring a lot. And that has me worried, especially Mandy, who I think we all agree we saw a lot in a couple of years ago when she first got to the main roster. But
I think that reason is because, I mean, they're trying to personally in themselves make the shift from being a tag team wrestler to a solo wrestler. Yeah. And I don't think Sonya Deville has had that experience being solo on NXT for a couple months before she was called up and was in a tag team kind of full time for like 2 or 3 years. I don't think Mandy Rose has had much of that experience herself. So it's kind of interesting. I can see this match kind of forming in the same way as like maybe I don't want to put them on like the old kind of like, Divas, but I see that kind of intensity within the match, like a sort of hatred. This storyline isn't built on like the other 2 women's matches on the show where it's like who's actually better. It's actually a personal thing. Yeah. So I don't know if actually wrestling has to be kind of the main priority in this match.
Yeah, I agree. But I do think actually you're gonna eat some crow. I do think they've been waiting for this moment. And I think they're definitely gonna, exceed expectations. I think of most of anything on this show. Like, and they've got 7 other matches to go against on a really strong card. I think that shows a lot of confidence in where the storyline is going. But I think it's time for Sonya to get the snip. I think it's time for her to get the little pixie Katie Lane cut.
Yeah, it'll be good for her look. Trust me.
I mean, Mandy, I'm in the cabin with it. With Mandy, man. I'm in the cabin with it, all right? Whenever she pops up, I'm on the patio with it. You feel me? So I definitely got Mandy Rose winning this one.
Well, let's see. From Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville to the United States Championship on Monday Night Raw, we have Apollo Crews versus MVP. This was a match that actually happened a few weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. After Apollo Crews had an extended leave of absence for whatever reason it is. It's been
party.
He wasn't on that damn.
He wasn't at the boat party.
He wasn't on that damn.
Sonya Mandy was the COVID vacation, and Apollo, he probably got it from like Publix or something. I don't know.
Oh my God! With that said, Apollo Crews, he's been United States champion for a couple months now. Actually, I would actually like to take his, let's take a stop. How's the reign been? How's Apollo been? Have he wowed you? Has he exceeded any expectations in this role as he's being pushed?
I mean, he won in a really good match with Andrade, but that's a given with Andrade matches. Then he was gone for like a month and a half, and then he came back. So it's been good. I would say it's been much needed for him. Like he didn't really do much in the 2 or 3 years he's been on the main roster. So he's needed this. I think I wouldn't mind the Hurt Business getting it though. Like I'd actually look forward to watching them every week now.
I'm flat on his reign. I don't hate it. I don't love it. He's been champion for over 85 days, and about 30 of those he's been gone. I think that it's given him a lot of chances to be on the mic, and I think that's a really cool thing for him. He's never really had a lot of mic time before, and I think that they've been giving him a lot. I will say, not for nothing, they have given Apollo a lot, and I got to applaud them for that. They've let him have the title even though he wasn't there. They've carried on the program. They even let people defend it, defend his honor, and while he wasn't there, like they've given Apollo a lot and a lot of confidence. So I got to commend the company for that. I mean, it's way overdue. So, I mean, just a small commendation for that. But I think in terms of just the reign, he needs that one challenger. And I just really don't feel like MVP of the Hurt Business is it. And if that's all that they have for him, then, I mean, yeah, he should probably lose it to MVP because they do way more during an episode of Raw than anyone else does. They're all over Raw. And, Apollo's only on these one segments. And I thought that they made him look incredibly stupid last week by losing to Shelton Benjamin. They made him look incredibly stupid again this week by making him lose to Bobby Lashley. So why would I even think that it's why does Bobby Lashley not want the U.S. title at this point? There's no reason.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he will just give it. Like, he's proven that he could beat the shit out of Apollo Crews every time they've met. Why would MVP be the one getting the belt? Like, I think they don't do him any favors for as much as they let him have his little cheap wins. They don't do him any favors in the way they book him against the Hurt Business. And I get that they want to keep him strong, but like, geez, they really hurt, Apollo as a character by like having him lose to everyone else, but only beat MVP. Like, because now to me, and I think Apollo's going to win this, he goes right to Bobby Lashley, and he's still not out of this program.
I'm actually going to go with MVP winning this match.
Ooh.
Because I don't see what else there is after Apollo Crews beats MVP, to be honest with you. I mean, unless he goes back to Andrade, there's a whole pool of talent backstage, but kind of none of them they haven't done a good job, I think, kind of like SmackDown has in kind of establishing the mid-card scene. Because everyone on the mid-card scene kind of plays the background. I mean, we saw that on this show of just Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, all these other things like that. I think MVP wins this match. Maybe we get Cedric within the Hurt Business on this show. But I do think there's a lot more longevity. There's a lot more things to do. There's a lot more people to play with if you have MVP win this match. So I'm going to go with MVP winning at SummerSlam, weirdly enough.
Okay, two versus one. That's how y'all feel? Cool.
Don't take offense to it. Boom. Let's go to probably another match on Raw, one of the most personal matches on this show.
One thing we didn't mention, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are banned from ringside for this match. So
right.
The Cedric thing could possibly be in play. So you're right.
Ooh, you're right. 100%. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm scrolling news. They considering bringing Talking Smack back? What? That's crazy. Okay.
Raw Talk is actually enjoyable. I do enjoy that.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
who's
like
hosting it?
R-Truth and Charlie Caruso.
Okay.
It's amazing. Meelz, I promise you. It is amazing. If you can see the way he makes Shayna break every single week.
The only clips I've seen are the Shayna clips.
They're great. I think they literally have her back every week just so that she can break.
Like, she gets in, tries to cut this really heel promo. He was like, "Nah, we talk about these fish and chips right now. You feel me?"
Yeah, make them tag team champions. Why not? I mean, Shayna isn't doing anything else that anyone wants.
Well, come on. What are you talking about?
Oh man,
Shayna did
what do you mean? Oh yeah, I mean, she was on Raw Underground facing Nia Jax. I would like to say that I predicted that on last week's show. I would like to say Meelz is here in the flesh, in the form.
Well, I'm just taking offense to Shayna not having anything to do. I think they've been rehabbing her in a pretty good way. I think that instead of just making her like do stupid shit like bite people and cut really bad promos, like it makes sense what she's trying to do here. She had a really good win against Bayley on Raw, and then went to Raw Underground. So they're featuring her a lot, and I think they see a lot in her. I think that they're booking her better than what Heyman had her doing.
Yeah, they even brought in Jessamine and Marina. Yeah, which is a good. I think it's a good indication on her direction to bring in heaters.
Absolutely.
What do you
say?
I was actually about to bring up Jessamine and Marina. Like, do y'all think they're going to be featured regularly now?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, they've already been shown on USA Network. Might as well.
I think the Nia thing is a stopgap, and I guess we'll get to this during the Asuka thing. But yeah, the Nia thing is a stopgap to what
it's a payback match.
Yeah, to inevitably get us to where we're gonna go in September. But let's get to the next match.
Yeah, well, we've got probably the most personal match on this card, and quite interesting because this is the first time I talked about it last month with possibly a Seth Rollins versus Goldberg match, but we've got Seth Rollins in a situation that he actually never really finds himself in, kind of being in the ring. I wouldn't call Dominic Mysterio a non-wrestler, but he's not really kind of known as a wrestler. He's known as Rey Mysterio's son. He's
and
kind
for
of
the fits.
Yeah, and for the StockX fits, yes. But he's known for that, so he's kind of being put in a position right now to kind of elevate Dominic Mysterio in this match, while at the same time having this match as part of this major feud with Rey Mysterio. What do you guys kind of foresee in this kind of match? Do you expect it to be, a a lot of chicanery, a lot of shenanigans, a lot of outside stuff? It is a street fight, or do you expect, Dominic to surprise everyone and kind of want to prove everybody like, yo, I actually does this. I be wrestling.
I think there's a big reason why they haven't shown him do much other than the 619, and that's because they wanted to be a surprise to see what he can do. We know Dominic's been training for at least the last 5-6 years. He's been training to do this, and I know it's not any indication that he's great or good or anything, but you have him in the ring with, and let's just stop the cap here. Like, you have him in the room with Seth Rollins, and that's a guy that not only can work the style, but works the WWE style better than anyone. I think if there's anybody in that ring that you should put him in there against, Orton's one of them. Cena will probably be another one. But like Seth Rollins is the guy you put him in the ring against to make him look good, and I think he's absolutely going to make Dominic look good. As far as like chicanery or any type of, we said chicanery like 55 times this show. Despite any chicanery or any tomfoolery that goes on in the match, I think that it's going to be to the benefit of it. That's why I hope that there aren't a lot of matches, even though we have an Asuka Bailey Sasha stuff to talk about in just a couple minutes. This should be the only match with a lot of overbooking in it.
I think as long as Dominic is not Cain Velasquez, we should be good. I think we should be good, and all systems go with Dominic Mysterio. I think he's got a couple of hurricanranas in the tank. I think he's going to show up and show out. I think this match is going to be brutal from Seth Rollins' perspective. I think that's really kind of the only way you enter this match, because you're not having that back and forth, 20-minute classic with Dominic Mysterio. You're just not. So you kind of got to go in with like, okay, let's figure out how I can beat his ass a million times from, tomorrow, and how he can come back. Who do you guys got winning this match? That's a more interesting question.
You gotta do Dominic here. I think this storyline has gone on since we found out that Becky was pregnant in April. in May. I'm sorry, in May. So about 4 or 5 months of storyline here. It's a lot.
Becky really stay off the gram, huh? Like she just
disappeared.
Jesus.
She let one more go in June, and then she's been gone since.
She waiting to just show up and be blow up. Like, that's what she's waiting for. Oh my God. But yeah, no, I agree with you. It's been going on particularly long. I don't know if this was always like, oh, this is where we're ending up. But I think it's the most interesting place that we end up. I don't really want to see Ray versus Seth again, to be honest with you.
I don't think if Dominic wins, this goes on for another round. Let's be really clear here. So with that being said, I think Dominic puts up a really good fight, but ultimately gets the curb stomp. Yeah, man, I want to see something different with Seth. And honestly, Aleister Black has been missing for a little bit, so I wouldn't mind him coming back.
Yeah, he's been teasing. He's been teasing his comeback on Instagram for the past couple of weeks too. So
good. I mean, at least he's teasing something. I don't know why he opened the door for Bianca like that and let his wife get it completely demolished like that.
Because you can't stop a black woman. Come on, he knows that. He knows that. He said, "Come right on in. I don't want no
come right on in."
He opened the door and was like, "Yo, what's up? Yo, what you doing? Relax."
What if he follows face heel dynamics in his own household?
I know, right? It's like a little face. What?
He's like, I know that's my wife. He's like, I know that's my wife.
Come on in.
He's like, I know that's my wife, but I'm a baby face and so are you. So go right ahead, man. We follow the same dynamics as TV in here.
Oh my God. That was so awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna go with actually Dominic Mysterio winning this, and then kind of like maybe we can end it there.
Right.
Maybe we can end it there.
Maybe, but you know how they do Hell in a Cell, and they can do Hell in a Cell matches now. Now they're in the Thunderdome. Yeah,
that's one. I mean, I bet that's the reason why they have the lease until October 30th.
Yes,
100%. I'm so glad for the Thunderdome. #Thunderdome. Let's get into another match. I think we can. Gosh, you know what? Let's get Braun out the way. Big old Braun Strowman versus The Fiend, Universal Championship. This match has gone left, right. I don't know who's booking this shit. I don't know who's booking this shit.
Not Armand and team. No.
I don't know who's booking this shit, but they are wild. I think all right, let me ask you guys a question. And we could be wrong by the time it comes on Friday. Was last Friday a double turn?
And
I think so.
yeah, I think so too. I think it's the only way that you could, and I guess we'll get into it in the hour. I guess I'll just go ahead with my prediction now as well. Like, it's the only way that you could have Braun still win this match and it be realistic to what the Fiend does, to do a double turn. I know the Fiend will still, I've been saying this for a year, right? That the Fiend needed to be a face. He needs to be a face because you can't have him beating everyone and he has to lose sometimes. So I'm with it. I'm cool with it. I think Braun is a better heel. I think we all would agree this, right? Like, Braun is a way better heel than he was a face.
Because he's a dork as a face.
Yeah, he's a huge dork as a face. I think the Fiend is actually cooler as he is a face because he could actually lose some matches and there could be some heat behind that, and he doesn't have to show up all the time either. So, I mean, it's a win-win here. I think the way they did it was really contrived and kind of weird. I think using Alexa and promoting physical harm to her is also really weird as well. But I think the match is actually a lot better with the double turn because it shows that Braun has changed the Fiend in the way that the Fiend has changed other people. So I think that's a cool reversal of fortunes there. But I have Braun winning this because the Fiend is a face now. He doesn't need to win it.
Shit, you're right. I never even thought of that, but now you're right, and I kind of want to change my answer from here on out. No, I think Braun Strowman as a heel, definitely there's a lot more angles you can go to, especially as the monstrous heel, and it's a lot better than him being a face. And I think they probably should have went that way at WrestleMania, but who knows at this point. It's just Roman. I'm sure they had Roman having a very strong 70-day reign before taking it off of him or something. But, you know, this whole thing, this whole feud, including Alexa within it, it's just been bizarre. I feel like Alexa will play something in this match. And I think the Fiend, they're going to have something weird. Like the Fiend tries to rescue Alexa and then actually gets bodied by Braun Strowman. Or something along those lines. Because you know how Bruce is from the Attitude Era. He's from that era of like, let's make monsters and cute chicks friends and maybe even more than friends, i.e. Kane and Tori, i.e., you know, all types of uggos that get, you know, Mandy and Otis. There we go. But he's from that era. So I think that's possibly going to happen. You actually opened my eyes a lot when you just said that thing statement. So I'm going to actually go with Braun Strowman retaining as well.
Yeah. What about you, X?
I just want to preface my statement with there's no way either one of these outcomes are good. With that being said, Braun retains. Roman nerfs him in a month or two whenever he comes back. Please, Roman, if you listen to this, come back, man. We need you.
Listen, you need something, man.
Either Roman comes back soon or Riddle like send somebody to God. I need something, man. I can't do this anymore. All right.
Well, I think that lends more credence to an actual regular person getting the title this fall, in that whether it be Riddle or returning Roman Reigns if possible, or you know somebody else. I think that again. Go away. We don't need these supernatural people having the belt no more. We tried it last year. We can't. It don't work.
Shout out to normal people, by the way. I love that. Let's get into this match. We're going to get into both these matches at the same time. At this point, this feud is so intertwined that it doesn't even make sense for us to act like they're not one match. It is one match. This is one program separated into two match. I can't, you know, when I heard on SmackDown, I was out on Friday night. Shout out to Carlos. I was actually out with Carlos. Shout out to Two Belts Forever, the real Two Belts. I was out on Friday, didn't get to watch SmackDown live. I opened my timeline. I see the picture. After all the predicting we did last week. Oh, Ray, come on. Oh, man, they're doing this thing, which, you know, it could be Tegan Nox. She was supposed to be called up. Bianca's there. Like, and they bring out Asuka. And I said, oh, the jig is sky high. And the jig is here. We may be making too much sense here. Maybe too much sense.
Asuka said she was going to make it make sense herself.
So she showed up on SmackDown in a tri-brand battle royal, ended up winning it over Shayna Baszler, which is, interesting in itself. But she ends up winning it. And now she will face both Sasha Banks and Bayley for their respective championships in 2 separate matches on this show. Do we get a title change in either one of these matches?
Yes.
I say yes. If you listened last night, Bayley said she's going to go first. So I assume they're opening the show. I can't confirm that, though. So I think Bayley's going to go first. Asuka's going to lose on purpose to look like she's injured or whatever, and then beat the brakes off Sasha at the end.
That's my prediction as well. Though I do think that and I'll give you one better than that, X. She's going to get herself DQ'd against Bayley and take Bayley out the same way she took out Kyrie, so Bayley won't interfere in the match.
Oh, shit.
That's a long way to just get to the Raw Women's Championship. She could just...
Asuka doesn't want the SmackDown.
But she could have just not entered the damn thing.
but how else is she going to get... How else is she going to... Well, again, we're theory crafting here. This is not actually going to happen.
Listen, all of this is... It's not our booking. We didn't book this. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to explain ourselves. You know what I'm saying? With what we're given. Go ahead.
I'd say, we have to. I think you got to do the big breakup here soon, because we don't even know. We have Payback a week from that, and then they have to defend the tag title. So let me just say right here, Asuka's going to win the Raw title back, and then she's going to go on to Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Cool, we're in agreement with that. That has to happen.
Yes.
There's no way this feud happens with Sasha with the Raw title. Bayley retains, but then they're going to lose the tag titles. I think the bigger question here is, who the hell are they going to lose the tag titles to a week from now?
That's a great question. Who the hell's on SmackDown?
You don't have.
It could be anybody. Yeah, it could be anybody. It could be Shotzi Blackheart and friggin' Tegan Nox.
It could be Riot Squad.
Oh,
that's what I predicted as well, that it would be the Riot Squad, but they would have to do some sort of number 1 contenders match really, really soon. It's not going to be Alexa and Nikki, so that's
3 tag teams. They just need to win a match.
Yeah, they just at this point someone needs to win a match and put them together.
What about Aaliyah? What about Aaliyah and Mercedes Martinez?
Oh nah. Who knows? It could end up being like Asuka and someone else. Like, they've been doing this feud they're so like, okay, these work. Let's do this in this kind of bubble thing. It could end up being Asuka and someone else. You're like, oh, Asuka now wants to be 2 belts Asuka. Like, that's what she wants now. And you never know.
I don't know. I just think I'm done. Like, I am literally I'm like more interested in Asuka Shayna Baszler, because I love the not camaraderie, but the competition between the two, where it's like she's not trying to snake her. They literally want to do
moment on Raw.
Yeah, it was a good head up moment where it's like, okay, we're gonna take care of this, and then we're going to go against each other. And I like that from what Shayna was at NXT to this. Like, yo, I really want to go head up against Asuka, even though she already beat her in the Elimination Chamber. But like, I think that it's a cool like head up moment between these two. Bayley Sasha, I'm kind of getting bored with it. It's a little too long in the tooth for me.
I agree. Do you feel, before we get to the main event of the show, do you think any other matches will be added, if anything?
No. This is a tight 8-match card. I'm cool with that. It doesn't need to be like, when you get to 9-10 matches, it goes into night 1, night 2 territory, and I don't think they want to do that.
All right, excellent. I think hopefully we'll get, there's some other subsidiary feuds on SmackDown and Raw that could maybe end up on a Payback pay-per-view. I'm thinking about Matt Riddle and what's his face?
Baron Corbin, or actually Matt Riddle, Chad Gable.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, no. Are they still beefing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they beef a little bit. As long as the cash is still up for grabs. Let's get to the main event itself, the WWE Championship. I think this will rightfully be the main event of the show this time. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. They've done everything to make Randy Orton. They've gone back. This is like 2009 Randy Orton at this point. They've done everything possible to kind of really building him up as this real monster heel, laying out old people week to week, damn near kicked Shawn Michaels' hairline so far back that
he no-sold it.
I mean, yes, he was sitting up. I mean, Shawn Michaels, this is Shawn Michaels, man. He does the biz. You know what I'm saying?
All the selling I needed was when his hat fell off. That's all I needed, honestly.
Oh my God. I wanted to laugh like when I first saw him with the haircut because
that's still one of the most legendary A-Show moments when we found out about the haircut.
He looks like Gil from The Simpsons, bro. Like, it's so funny. That's what his hair reminds me of. But, here we are. They've done this feud, solid, justice, everything. I can't think of a WWE Championship feud, which I feel like they've done right every kind of week. And it's actually a main event. Like, yo, this is the main event right here.
Mm-hmm. It feels important. It feels really important. And it feels like this is Drew's biggest test yet, which is, it's wild that it's Randy Orton, 44, 45 years old is his biggest test. But here we are. Like, Randy Orton, to me, when it comes down to the end of the year, Meelz X, he's going to be on our top 10 list. Let's just be clear. Like, he's going to be on
Also, Randy Orton's 40 years old.
He's 40, sorry. My bad.
Still a bright young scratch. Don't Jericho him. Don't Jericho him into another demographic now.
You know what? Randy don't drink enough like Jericho does. So, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. He do look like a spry 35. You're right. But it does feel important, that they have Randy not only retracing his steps with the Legend Killer gimmick, but doing it a lot better this time. And it's a lot more potent because the legends that were legends when he was coming up are still older than him. And he could take them out where he is right now. So to me, I think, Drew's been working for me as a champion. I'm so glad that they've kept up with him to a point where now we're finally going to get somewhat of a semblance of a crowd in these shows and they'll be able to react to what he does. So we got to preface this with, I think there's going to be some big chicanery happening at the end of the show, right?
See it coming. That's what looming over this match for me. You never see it coming. Is Retribution Randy Orton stable? And I'm going to bring this up again. I know you hated it last week. Are they his stable? I'm leaning more towards it now. Now that they've added people with size, I'm leaning a little bit more towards it now. Now that I saw a couple people over 6 feet on there, I was like, okay, all right. They obviously,
and a woman,
right? I think they've been a ploy to keep everybody out of Randy Orton's business for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. But maybe that's it, because this to me is a Retribution being a part of Randy's sort of ideal in his orbit or something along those lines is how you kind of take Randy Orton from being, he's just being built as a heel to like, now he's this all-encompassing guy who's like fucking up the show.
Right.
And he is the heel of all heels. He is Jafar from Aladdin. He is all these, he is the top. He is that guy. And I think if Retribution gets involved, we see a new WWE champion. It's the only way to explain Drew McIntyre losing, by the way, because
who has nerfed everyone.
Everyone. He kicks out at 1 all the time.
What do you think, X?
Yo, I really don't know because like if Drew loses, what the hell does he do after this? Besides lose
Randy again,
but Randy's on such a run. Like I don't see him losing. So I got to go Randy on this.
I got to go Drew in here because I mean, come on, guys, it's still Drew McIntyre, the guy who like kicked out of mad shit all year. Like he kicked out of F5s. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna have to do a lot.
He got the Mania to SummerSlam run. Like he's good. So I feel like he's okay with losing.
I would love. Well, here's the thing: if Drew does lose, I want to see him get it back. I want to see Drew get it back and have like a 2-time run and take it all the way to Mania. That's how much I fuck with his run right now. Like to me, he is like a top babyface, which is crazy because I wouldn't have said this a year ago. I just got so much confidence in this guy and how they book him. I'd have to say it's Drew, but then they get Randy's heat back by having Retribution be his guys.
I think Retribution gets involved in some way in this match. It's weird because they've been on both shows, so it's kind of like it could be sketchy. Maybe they get involved in the Universal Championship match for whatever reason. I don't know. Nah, nothing seems kind of close. I'm gonna go with Raw. it could be if Drew McIntyre wins, I could still see Retribution like circle the ring. We do a big reveal at the end. I think Raw needs this kind of cliffhanger thing to get people to actually tune in to the damn show, especially considering it's live now, which is a much bigger thing than it being taped. I think.
Well, how do you think the match is going to be? Like just in terms of like work rate?
I mean, well, actually, fire is a wrong word because Randy Orton really needs a great opponent to bring it out of him for a match to be fire.
I think that's Drew. Really.
Okay, I could see Drew. Drew be working.
Yeah, Drew. The one thing Drew does not slack in his in-ring work. That man is crisp and very good.
The lights are going to go out during the match. Some sort of, trash can. There's going to be something. There's going to be some sort of distraction. I'm all in on Retribution fucking up this match.
All right, so quick question. Are we getting a Claymore reverse to RKO is the question.
Wow. How would that even work?
How the fuck would that work? Claymore into that.
I don't know, but shooting star press until RKO happens, so anything is possible.
I'm pretty sure that they're working it out right now at the Amway Center. I'm pretty sure they're working it out right now.
Nah, shit. How does that even work? RKO into. I mean, I guess you would have to step out the way of the Claymore. I don't know what to say. Like,
step out the way. It would be a neck breaker, right? It'd be a neck breaker.
Nah, Randy Orton he don't half-ass a RKO, man. RKO is his gimmick. That's a thing, I heard people say that Randy Orton wasn't like the RKO wasn't like a mainstream Randy Orton isn't like a mainstream thing that's known, and I'm like, bro, the RKO is everywhere, bro.
Yeah, that's Meelz RKO or Meelz Orton, all that stuff. Like, come on, that was definitely a thing on Black Twitter a couple years ago.
Remember the Vine meme, RKO out of nowhere?
Yeah. All of that was like that, and his name is John Cena were on top. I mean, the John Cena thing pushed ahead, but I definitely think Randy Orton is somebody that was is a star or could be considered a star on the show. Again, it's all subjective, and people try and use ratings to hit that. But it's a star in WWE is someone who they're pushing to the level of a Drew McIntyre. Like, after he loses the belt, I think Drew is definitely a star for them. He's someone that is going to be factored into top programs for the long haul.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, 100%. But that's it for SummerSlam. I think I'm probably going to spend the next couple of days. I don't even know if I want to watch old SummerSlam matches. I feel like I've seen everything. They're showing everything on Fox anyway. I'm
going to check that out. I think it's going to be weird to have crowds. I think it's been really hard for me to watch old takeovers, which is my thing to do when I'm just kind of sitting around working, just putting on a takeover. I miss that atmosphere, and I really hope the Thunderdome at least allows fans to kind of get that type of rowdiness back into the show. Cut the what chants, but keep the general excitement.
Right, 100%.
But yeah, that is the A show for this week. Of course, I love when you're on the show, X. Thank you so much for finding the time to do it, even though you won our contest.
No problem. I had to cash in at some point, man. Meelz texted me last week, but I was like, "Yo, when are you coming on the show?" And I was like, "That's a great question." But we got something working next week. I gotta record Black Variant right after this.
Oh, okay.
I'm a busy man. I feel like I'm Meelz right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Meelz, the hardest working man in showbiz right now. And I mean, hey, we that's all we do. RNC. We work really effing hard. So if you want to celebrate and appreciate our work, please subscribe to the A Show RNC Network and give us a 5-star review. Give us some likes. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what how you feel about our predictions this week. And we're going to introduce something new in terms of how we're going to rate SummerSlam. So tune in next week to find out how we feel about SummerSlam and what happened after the show. I want to thank X, of course, the Black Variant, every single week, giving you the latest and greatest in comic book news. DC Fandome is this weekend, X. I'm in there.
It's getting positive, bro. I can't wait, man.
It's getting so positive. I'm looking at this Gotham Knight stuff, this Kill the Justice League stuff. I can't wait for any of that stuff to be.
New Wonder Woman trailer. Now I say new Justice League.
We eating, fam. We eating.
My things, bro. You already know what I need.
We eating, bro. But yes, as always, you can subscribe to the RNC Radio channel to hear Black Variant. Subscribe to our the A Show RNC Network to subscribe to us. Please, we're putting out so much great content for you guys. Please check it out if you can. And until next time, please wash your damn hands and wear your damn masks. I want to go outside one day. Please, please, please do that.
And stay away from people.
Stay away from people. 6 feet distance, unless you're watching wrestling. They go through the protocols now to do that. So until next week, for X and Meelz, I'm Justin. Peace out.
Happy Rusev Day, happy Rusev Day, happy Rusev Day, happy Rusev Day, happy Rusev Day.
You did it in the show, so I can easily cut that. So I'll see you guys later.
Fuck.